Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are going to take a quick look at the new French ships that are going to be coming here soon. This is going to be kind of just a quick look. I don't have any of the stats, but this is what we will be getting here soon enough. They are fully rendered. All that is being worked on is the stats, and I've heard kind of bad things about like the tier 10. We'll see if anything does alter, but we're just going to quickly run through. Now, a fair warning, I'm going to say it right here and now. This is in a lot of French names, and I will probably mispronounce every single freaking one. So, if I mispronounce it, give me a little bit of slack. French is definitely not my first, or second, or third, or even my 15th language. So, do forgive my mispronunciations. So at tier 1 we get the, oh good lord, Bougainville. I know I'm mispronouncing it. So as usual, it's a nice little tier 1, nothing too extravagant. It does look like it does get a additional range if you want to get that. So I mean that's kind of nice. It has 3 turrets. It doesn't look too bad. They are 139 millimeters. Oh, I guess I do have the stats. That's actually really nice. Now, you might be wondering why I'm able to actually look at this, because when you normally get on, you won't see it. I have the Aslan's mod on my World of Warships. I'm actually going to have to get rid of it because it's messing up with my division ability. But anyways, it's allowing me to at least see this. So you have 3 main guns, 139 meters. It looks like 8.6, and this is obviously work in progress. So there's no guarantee that this is actually going to be the final numbers. So just can keep in consideration 8.3 kilometers, but it's a tier 1. So let's go ahead and move on to the tier 2, which is the Jurien. Oh, we'll just say the tier 2. I know I'm gonna butcher every single name here and now. Alright, moving on to the tier 2, it looks like a very similar build as far as the, like, what was it, the bog. You have 19,600 artillery, you're looking at 8 main guns, 165 millimeters, 10-second reload time, around 2,200 for HE, around 3,100 for AP, and 9.3 kilometers. AA defense is probably abysmal, it looks like. I don't know. Yeah, unfortunately I can't show off any of the Bs. So this is fully stock. Max speed is 23 knots. Rudder shift time is 8.1. And concealment is 9 kilometers. So not a bad looking tier 2. Kind of does remind me of the bog, but there's not as many guns. Obviously the bog's a tier 3. So moving on to the tier 3. Moving on to the tier 3, we have the Friant. I'm gonna guess that's the name, and it looks actually a lot more modernized. You have 4 main guns, 2 guns, or 4 main turrets, 2 guns each, with a 7-second reload time, around 11.7 kilometer range, which obviously you'll probably get an increase to range. HE damage is 2,000 and AP is around 2,700, which is actually a little bit less than what the stock of the tier 2 had, so that's actually kind of interesting. Torpedoes, it actually does have torpedoes. You have 4 triple tubes. Looks like they do around 12,233 with a 6-kilometer range. Now, as from what I heard and from what I've seen, is that the French will have these torpedoes all the way up. We'll see if they do alter. So this is kind of my first look at them as well, at least a more in-depth look at them. AA's not too bad. Once again, once you probably get to the B hole, you'll probably get a little bit more AA. That's usually normal. Maneuverability, 30 knots. Really? For a tier 3. Wow. That's, I think it's going to be the fastest tier 3. So that's actually quite impressive. Rudder shift time is 8.4 and concealment is 11.3. So not too bad. Moving on to the tier 4. The tier 4 Starting off, survivability is 22,900. Artillery, you have 4 main guns against. Once again, they're dual turrets. Damage actually does increase with the AP. Reload time is 10 seconds. HE damage is 2,200. 11% fire chance. And AP damage is 3,300 with a 13.7 kilometer range. So not too bad. Torpedoes, you once again have those 4 main torpedo tubes, 6 kilometers with a 12,233. So far the same. They are 57 knots. AA, not that impressive, but once again, your B hull probably will get a little bit more. Now I've heard the French cruisers don't have really good AA. At least the tier 10 doesn't, so I'm assuming these lower tiers probably don't have it either. Max speed 33 knots, so fast little French cruiser. And there's probably some joke there about the French and being fast at running away, but I'm not gonna make that joke. Anyway, moving on to concealment is 13.3. And anyone that's concerned about that joke I just made, I'm part French, so meh. Alright, moving on to the tier 5. So the tier 5, wow, has 3 main turrets, or 3 guns in each turret, which is nice. Survivability is 21,100 with a 7% torpedo protection. Artillery, you have 3 main guns, 152 millimeters, 7.5 second reload time, 2,200, 3,200, and a firing range of 13.6. Then you actually finally get some secondaries. You have 2 single mount 90 millimeters, 4 second, and a 4 kilometer range. And I think it looks like you have additional dual, which kind of sits in the middle of the ship, which is actually kind of interesting to see. And that has a range of about 4 kilometers as well. 13.6 overall. And I'm assuming this is probably the normal setup. Yes, it does look like it. Yes, okay. For a second there, I thought it said it had 4 turrets, so that's why I was like, what? Okay, so moving on to the torpedoes. It looks like the torpedoes are upgraded. They have a 9 kilometer range, which is pretty good, all considering. I don't even know what I was saying. So moving on to the torpedoes, looks like they're the same with a 9 kilometer, well, sorry. It looks like they are upgraded with a 9 kilometer range of around 14,833. You only have 2 torpedo tubes, 1 on each side, 3 torpedo tubes, or 3 torpedoes each with a 60 knot. So that's not too bad. AA looks like it's up a little bit. So that's always good. Once again, B-hull probably get a little bit more. Speed is 35 knots. Register time is 10.3. And concealment is 12.6. So, no, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Alright, moving on to the tier 6. You have a survivability of 24,800. And wow, these ships look really nice. I really have to say, they look really nice. With a torpedo protection of 10%. The main guns, you have 3 main turrets, 3 guns each, 7.5 second reload time, 2,200 for HE, and 3,300 for AP with a 14.5 kilometer range. Now the shells are around 870 meters per second, and I think that kind of stays the same for the French all the way up. Secondaries, you have 4 dual 90 millimeters, 4.5 kilometer range with a 1,300 damage, which isn't too bad. Torpedoes, I'm guessing, are probably the same. Yes, they are. 60 knots once again. AA looks like it's a little bit more buffed. It looks like you have quite a bit of the small, but the damage is not really that high. Maneuverability, 31 knots, which is actually a little bit slower than the tier 5. That's something to keep in mind. It doesn't look like you get a engine upgrade at all. And detectability is 13.3. Moving on to the tier 7, the survivability is 29,700. And I really have to say, I kind of like the look of the French cruisers so far. They look really nice. At least this tier 7 kind of reminds me of the Pensacola a little bit. but I don't know, it just looks a little bit nicer. A little bit nicer. Torpedo protection is 16%. Artillery, you have 4 main guns, 2 guns each, 12-second reload time, 2,800 max HE, and 4,800 for AP, with a 16.3 kilometer range. But the shell velocity is at 820 meters per second, so they're a little bit slower when they leave the guns. We'll see how they do when they are actually in the air. I'm guessing once again the torpedoes are probably the same. Yes, they are. 14,833. AA looks like you definitely have a little bit more. So that's something to keep in mind. Maneuverability, 31 knots again. Rudder shift time is 13.4 and concealment is 13.9. Moving on to the tier 8. Charles Martel, I'm guessing is how you pronounce it. Survivability, 30,800 with a 16% torpedo protection. Artillery, you have 3 main turrets, 3 guns each, 12-second reload time, 2,800 for max HE, 4,800 for max AP, and a 16-kilometer range. It looks like the AP does travel at 820 meters per second. I wonder if that's going to stay the same. Let's hope it doesn't. And moving on to torpedoes, yep, once again, exact same. A defense looks like it's very similar to the tier 7, and maneuverability is 32.5 knots, so a little bit faster. Rudder shift time is 13.8. I'm just checking to see if there's an upgrade. Nope, no upgrade for the engines, which is unfortunate. Concealment is 13.7 kilometers. Moving on to the tier 9 is the St. Louis. And I definitely hope I'm saying that right. I should be ashamed if I do not. Survivability, you are looking at 38,800 with a 19% torpedo protection. Artillery, you have 3 main turrets, 3 guns each, 203 millimeters, 12-second reload time, 2,800 HE damage with a 15% fire chance, 4,900 with AP, and around 16.7 kilometer range. Now the gun shell velocity is a little bit higher with the St. Louis, which is actually kind of good to see. And torpedoes, I'm gonna bet the exact same. Yes, exactly the same. 60 knots all the way through. AA defense looks like it's definitely a little bit better, has a much higher damage per second. At least for the mid-range, and the short range is a bit okay. Long range is only 48, so that's something to keep in mind. Maneuverability, you have 33 knots, 14.2 second rudder shift time, and concealment is at 14.9, but obviously you should be able to get that a little bit lower with captain skills and the upgrade. And moving on to the tier 10 is Henri IV. The one and only king. Looks like it's very similar to the setup as far as the main guns, which is nice. Or sorry, similar as far as the Des Moines and the Moskva are concerned. Let's hope they are very similar, but like I said, I've kind of heard with this deck armor being able to be penetrated from anything from, I think, like a Bismarck and up can penetrate through this armor thickness, because it apparently has spatial so it has spatial armor, so there is a gap between the outer armor and the inner armor, so that's something nice to see. And apparently with this armor deck being only 25 millimeters, you get penetrated quite easily from any large caliber shells. So that's slightly unfortunate. Survivability health is around 53,300 with a 19% torpedo protection. Artillery, you have 3 main turrets, 3 guns each with a 17.1 second reload time. That is the longest reload time of any cruisers. Range is max HE damage is 3,400. Max AP damage is 6,200 with a 19.1 kilometer range. Now the shell velocity is at 845 meters per second, which is kind of slow. I'm actually kind of want to see how it compares to, say, the Des Moines. So let's quickly grab my Des Moines. So the Des Moines has AP at 762. So it's, yes, definitely a little bit faster than the Des Moines is concerned, but it's still really slow. Still slow, sluggish shell velocity. Then secondaries, you have 6 dual 127 millimeters with a 4.5 kilometer range. You could possibly get advanced firing training for this, and that could be beneficial. So we'll see how things go. I'm guessing once again torpedoes are probably exactly the same. Yes, they are. 14,833 damage, 9 kilometer range, 60 knots, 6 torpedoes total. So yeah, not that impressive. AA guns, oh my word, are you kidding me? Look at this. 8 dual 57 millimeters with a 3.5 kilometer range, 97 average damage, and then 6 dual 127 millimeters, 5.2 kilometer range, average damage is 94. Whoa, that is bad. Oh god. I'm definitely not looking forward to seeing any carriers out there. Maneuverability, she is the fastest or second fastest at 35 knots, which is pretty darn zippy for a tier 10. Usually once they reach the tier 10s, they slow down. So I think the Minotaur is a little bit faster. I think by like 0.2 knots or something like that. Rudder shift time is 11.8 seconds, and concealment is 16.6 kilometers. So kind of a big ship. From what I've seen, as far as like kind of first look, is that she's actually has the worst detection, second to the Moskva. The Moskva is the worst, but she's the second worst, and she doesn't have the armor apparently as a Moskva. Now, once again, this is all in still in development. The stats may change. We'll see. I kind of hope they are, but at the exact same time, maybe they are going to be adding something that will help the French cruisers. Who knows? But anyway, this is just a quick little look at these French ships that are coming out. Once again, we are finally adding another line, even though we have yet to receive the British battleships. Okay. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And if you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.